Welcome, everybody, to episode 9 of the Hot Rod Blues podcast. I am your host, Shawn Brereton. To my left is...
Mike Abbott, Steel Rose Metal Co.
Sean Young, Kingfish Metalworks.
Javi Augustine, Bomber Steel Custom.
Yeah. So, guys, welcome to my bar.
Hey.
Excellent.
Right?
Glad to be
Super
here.
cool.
Yeah. We did one before here.
The service is terrible here.
I know, right?
Yeah.
My waitress isn't here, so
Oh no,
she'll be in from working out later. So.
we got to have this wrapped up before she gets home. You're not allowed to have guests.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
This was like to not have kids.
Yeah.
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 It's amazing.
Nobody's screaming.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. This is many years of. I'm still paying it off, I think, but
Yeah.
it was worth it. It was worth
For
it.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we're all alone. We don't have a special guest this week. We decided we'd take a little break, and hey, we've done a lot of stuff since last time. So
Yeah.
Man.
figured we'd go ahead and talk about what we're doing, and then ramp up for episode 10. We'll tease that later at the end. So
Yeah.
but
yeah.
So let's talk about episode 9. That was unbelievable.
episode 8.
Episode 8. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're in 9.
We're
in 9 now.
technically we're talking about episode 9 as we're making it.
But 9 kicked ass. Let me tell you.
I'm hearing a lot of good things about it.
It hasn't happened yet, but
But yeah, when I put episode 8 together, I probably watched it 10 times.
yeah.
It's man, it's good.
Yeah.
Super good. I'm glad those guys were able to come out and hang out with us.
Yeah.
You know, has anyone talked to Marshall already since this?
I have.
Have you? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I called both of them the day after just to thank them and
Make sure we didn't offend them in any way.
and talk to it. You know, just give them a holler and tell them I appreciated them coming out, and they were raving about it. Of course, they're like, I hadn't watched it yet. I'm not much on the internet, but
I sent them links.
yeah.
All they gotta do is click on it.
I know,
Right.
I know their buddies watched it. Because
Yeah.
I was it Leo Golf?
Yeah, Leo.
Yeah, I got a nice little message.
That
from
message
him,
was
so-
epic.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we definitely need to have Leo on too.
Oh, indeed.
He's a character.
Indeed. And a motorcycle extreme guy. He restores like old Triumphs.
Yeah.
I'm way into what he's doing. So
Yeah.
Want to get Leo on for sure.
Absolutely.
I think that's one thing we didn't really get into with Marshall either, though. But Marshall's a
Motorcycles.
big BMW guy. I mean, he's
Yeah.
got BMW bikes. He's got probably eight
Yeah.
8 of them over there.
He's got a stable full.
Yeah.
Indeed, he does.
Very cool.
We could probably do 5, at
We
least
probably
5.
just keep having him on.
Yeah. We could do at least 5 more podcasts with
It's the
those
last
guys.
week of the month. We'll have our guest Marshall.
right.
Stable guest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
We could even do soundboards with him. Like I've already changed my ringtone to him saying naughty.
That would be
If you don't know what that is, go back and watch the episode.
Naughty parties.
Apparently, we had a couple naughty parties. We could do a whole episode about naughty things.
We need to get that as a sound bite
I want that.
Hey, man.
That'd be
on
funny.
the board.
I'm doing that.
You should do that.
Fully do
Yeah,
that.
so you just hit
just
naughty
hit-
parties. Naughty parties.
We're headed to Trog this year. There's going to be some naughty parties. We're not, seriously.
Yeah.
You've got to have the hand thing going on with it.
Well, yeah. Well,
Naughty
Has to
party.
Well, he's
With it.
Italian. Oh, yeah. Everyone in the Latin persuasion does a lot of.
Yeah.
Hey.
A lot of hand movement.
Yeah,
you guys-
he was the first one to knock a microphone over. So.
He
And
was.
kept going. He didn't even check up. He just, get that out of my face.
Did you guys look at some of the pictures that we put on the last podcast?
I did.
Did you see the one of, I guess it was Marshall's dad's truck that he borrowed the family, Robilio's grocery store truck?
Yes.
To drag his car
Yes.
to Halls with. Oh,
Yeah.
This is great, man.
Epic
He
story.
actually talked about that a little bit on the.
Yeah.
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 That's why it was on there.
Yeah. Epic stories.
Well, we found out some things about Halls, which I was really interested in. Like,
Yeah.
if you go back to episode 2, I actually brought it up.
Yeah.
About what he said. The old bomber. He said Dyersburg, the old bomber base. It's the B-17 training grounds.
Right.
But and they turned it into that. But I didn't know how the layout was and how it was, and to hear it from somebody that was actually there was really special. Like,
Yeah.
to have that. So he's, they raced. I was like, they raced the runway. He's like, no, they raced the taxiway. But you were even impressed with the knowledge that came to be that they were rolling starts.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They were rolling starts, and then he says you take two turns at the end and wide open on the way back.
You know, it always baffles me how history repeats itself. You know, I know a lot of people like to give the import guys kind of trash, especially in hot rod and other car world, tuners, but hot rodding originally was 4 cylinders, right? And I had no clue that racing was originally rolling start, which of course is what the import guys do. They're big on rolling starts.
Yeah, they do a lot of roll racing.
And here it is, turning itself around, and history repeating itself. It trips me out. It's crazy how it works.
I went out and watched a couple of roll races out there at MIR, and I didn't know they still use the tree, right? But you just have to time your run up.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
Really? Yeah.
So they still use the tree. So the tree comes down, you're rolling, but you can't hit it. Yeah, you can still red light.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of what Marshall was talking about last week is
jacking around.
Them jacking around with the rolling start to mess up the other guy so that you could hit it every single time and basically get a jump on them, and they still do that. They do that in import world, today, which is crazy. You look at that and you think that it's new stuff that they're doing, but in reality, it's more of the origin than what the guys that are racing hot rods are doing.
Gotcha.
To that point, I was trying to do some side. I wanted to get the guy's name right. You guys have seen it. A lot of contention because it's kind of inspired by a video game, but it's Model A, but it's also import hybrid. Ricky Boda. Yeah. Ricky. I want to get his name right. It's Ricky Boda. Mm-hmm. He's got that kind of slate gray with black accents, huge Indy wing on the back. Yeah. Wide open. Hoosier type tires, all 4 corners, and that's actually an S2000.
Yeah.
The front. I think it's a front clip S2000 grafted to a Model A coupe.
Yeah. Wow.
And that thing is cool. Now I don't know how fast, but you want to talk about cool.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm a super fan of that car.
Initially, I was like, that's not traditional. And then I was like, just step back for a minute because a lot of stuff I do is ridiculously not in that world. So. Right. And I will build a traditional at some point, but I like the experimentation.
Oh, yeah.
That is a cleanly done car.
Well, and the weird part about that car is so, there was a lot of talk of whether the car existed first or whether it was on a video game first, right? But it was on the video game first, and the inspiration from that video game pushed. I don't think the guy that owns it now is the guy that originally started it, but It pushed that guy, whoever he was, if you know his name.
Ricky Boda was the guy that owns it now.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
I'll give you the picture and maybe even a clip of that car.
It is a super cool car. I mean, it is so IndyCar inspired. I mean, it looks like if you put an A model into an Indy race. This is what it would look like.
Okay.
I mean, the door skin drops out.
Okay.
It's unreal.
It's got some metal work done. If it is metal work and not fiberglass, or there are vents that scoop in to cool.
Yeah, that's all metal.
It's all metal to cool the brakes.
So this is a sedan, or
no? It's coupe.
No, it's a coupe.
It's coupe with a huge
a big Indy wing and the snorkel on top. And I mean, it is sick. It is super sick.
So. But yeah, S2000. It's got the push button start, which was factory, which was pretty trick back when it came out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
But he's got the gauge pod on an S2000 moved to the center where you would see it in a Model A.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect spot for it. But back to what you were saying, that's a 4-cylinder, and that's what was originally in a Model A. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think
absolutely.
Well, speaking of S2000s, my friend Buddy Carlson over in West Memphis, he bought an S2000 that was wrecked, cut it in half, fixed the back half of it, and then put a LS in it.
Yeah.
And he ran it like that for a long time. Then he was just like, I think I want to do something different. And he made pretty much an Exocet out of it.
Yeah. It's all pipe.
Have you ever
tubing.
seen it?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that one, but they do it a lot with 350Zs. I had a Z that had some damage in the back when I bought it. It was a salvage title. Had I known or had experience in that, I would have Exoceted the whole thing. They look cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you keep the same body lines, all tubular.
Yeah.
So it looks like that. The silhouette is that you could put skin over it. It would look just like a regular car.
He did this thing completely himself. There wasn't a kit. It wasn't anything, But he was actually putting a bigger motor in it, putting in 435 horse LS or something, I think, and he just caught that sucker on fire.
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to. I was waiting. I was about to ask if you've received the latest pictures.
Did you see it?
He sent me the pictures. And I'm like,
Does he still have that
dude.
drivetrain for the original S2000?
I doubt it.
No, I don't think so.
I doubt it.
I'm
Yeah,
looking,
we're supposed to be doing some work on that car, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
Actually, he traded that, I think, for the LS.
Oh,
So he traded the whole drivetrain for the LS. But
Car's been done for a little while.
yeah. Well, I mean, S2000.
I used to autocross it.
Yeah.
The S2000 or when it was an LS?
When it was S2000 with the LS in it.
Yeah.
And man, it was
I'll tell you, since we're on
yeah.
imports, we can go down this. So yeah, I know you hate LS. We go
Yeah.
LS all because you're traditional, but a great car, if anyone's listening or looking for a great car to do an LS swap to that's on the market, you can buy cheap, about $1,500 or lower, is an RX-8. So you would get an RX-8, which is that rotary motor, and for some reason the fourth gen is what they are. They came out, and label it as an RX-8. That platform, they either burn up because of oil consumption or the rotors, whatever happens with those. That is a perfect candidate. The 50-50 weight distribution on that, if you can set it back, and the kit to take a junkyard LS that you go online and look online, under 5,000, you could be autocrossing it.
Right.
And it's an LS, like souped up LS with a cam, just bolt in basically.
nasty.
Yeah, that's not me.
I think you can put LSs in like airplanes now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
there's
do. They have some experimental. They're not experimental.
Yeah,
they're
experimental.
is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're not like if
they
they're
don't have a
home built or
certificate.
whatever they call
Right,
it. Experimental.
yeah.
Yes, death machines.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's one of the things. Buddy has his son has like a F1 airplane or something. They'll do like
Really?
Got one of those short, stubby wing, fast little guys.
It's
that
super
does stunt,
fast.
It's a stunt plane.
Yeah, you could stunt it.
Red
if you
Bull.
wanted
It's
to,
a
yeah.
Red Bull plane.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the Red Bull plane, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. He's into all sorts of crazy stuff over there. So
Can't hide money.
yeah,
No kidding.
If you're listening, pal, teach me because
Right.
that's not a cut. I want to know. Can you teach me how to make my money make more money? 'Cause
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get into.
I think it's a lost cause for me.
Same.
Well, you keep buying $900 things when you're supposed to be making $900.
Yeah, I know. Right.
I'm gonna leave you alone on that. That's like 3 weeks on messing with him.
Yeah.
What's great is we could take pictures of the Stein thing that you have hanging that you bought that day.
Yeah, I got them in the signs way over there. So
Yeah.
we don't have. We're not showing the view of the bar, the actual bar that's down that end.
Right.
But yeah, I have a bar with stuff.
It's
glasses and
good stuff.
for those at home, it's amazing. There's about 3,000 square feet going that way. Did you buy the Ferrari or is that a lease?
yeah, just a lease.
Yeah, the bowling alley's over the top, man.
Right.
In-ground pool.
I just wish I had a bigger garage.
Yeah.
Amen.
I can't.
That's everybody though. You can still. I mean, ask Don Martin. You can ask anybody.
Yeah.
I need a bigger garage. It doesn't matter how. Jay Leno, he needs a
Right.
bigger garage.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a
But
bigger
I'm
garage.
stuffed in a 2-car garage. It's bad.
Yeah.
So my
Well,
wife eventually wants to park inside.
Mike can tell you because he's been there what my 2-car garage looks like. It's a storage unit basically.
Well, mine I can't find anything anymore because, I got the hoarder thing going on where it was like, oh, just put it down over there, and then
Well,
and then it gets piled.
So
on
mine, I
other stuff.
wound up buying a whole tool. Basically, I bought a garage at an estate sale. Everything in tools, compressors, everything, and I had nowhere to put it for our shop business that Shawn and I are. And I was like, I got nowhere to put it, so I moved the A model over to one side and just stuffed everything in there. And I was like, the door didn't close. The tripping sensors. So
I've got a virtual garage. So it's actually the driveway. So it
virtually you can park it anywhere.
yeah, man.
So you didn't even have a garage?
No.
No.
So I started out with a lean-to off the shop behind the house where cars used to go. And then my little metal business started and everything got drug out. And there you go.
Yeah, all right.
And now I've started, everything I do is on the driveway. Yeah. For right now, though, we're working on that. We're making some headway these days. So.
Pretty much any of my work is in the driveway too. So
Yeah.
It's okay.
Or you know, or
I think I took
push
my
one car out.
I took Mike back to his roots last summer.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, man. I
was,
really did.
That was actually I enjoyed it because it did remind me of like when I really first started out.
That's
living back home when I was a teenager with my mom. Like this car gets brought up every time. The Impala. I was Johnny Cash in that car. Basically, I was restoring it one piece at a time.
Yeah.
Whatever broke, I fixed, and that's how you do it. But she had a carport, but we made that. It was a tarp, basically with a wooden gantry that I had for the body swap for the shoebox.
Yeah.
It was so hot.
It reminded me, like, you know, he kept like, man, I'm sorry, you know.
It's embarrassing.
And I'm like, dude, like, you have no clue. Like, this reminds me of the way it used to be, you know, just in a little 2-car garage, you know, not working with a lot of space and just making it happen. And man, I had a blast. I did. It reminded me of my younger years.
You can come over to my garage anytime then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, we didn't have a whole lot of space. We did a lot that day, though.
Oh, man.
We
killed it.
We fixed the cowl alignment, and we actually got the roof located, and that's where it's going to be. That is where the roof is going to be on that car.
See, I'm just glad I have concrete. You know,
right.
That's a luxury.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't have trees and a dirt pad that
Mud.
I'm pulling engines out of the car with a tree and a coming along.
Yeah.
So
it's questionable.
It happens,
I've worked on cars at Shawn's house too.
yeah, he sure has.
That's right. That's right.
There's nothing like hot concrete when you're like leaning when you have to lean over it on your forearm or something.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, that reminds me of my story. The first time when I got the 55 done, first big show I go to is Good Guys in Nashville, right? I'm so excited. It's like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And drive down the long side of the stadium, and then you hang a right and go down the back side, and it's like the swap meet and all that stuff is over there. And I get going, you know, you're just idling along more or less.
Yeah.
I go to step on the gas pedal just a little bit, and it goes thunk, and it hits the floor. I was like, oh, no way. I broke the cable, so I'm like, oh
no.
So it's dead.
That's how much horsepower that thing's got.
Right? It's just sitting
Snap
there.
the cable.
Yeah, it's sitting there idling in the middle of the road. I'm like, well, I can't do anything, so I just shut it off, leave it there, run over to the vendor area, buy a cable, come back. Then I'm trying to figure out how in the heck am I going to get this cable up in there? You know, I don't have a jack, I don't have anything, and it's sitting, you know, this high off the ground, and it's 140 degrees on that concrete,
it's
man.
Black, it's blacktop.
And it was brand new blacktop, and it was when Good Guys was back in June, I think, at that time. So it was seriously
180 degrees on the ground.
Yeah. And then you got the header right there, so it's like big burn mark right there on the forearm. Yeah.
I had that happen in the A model, the little A model coupe.
Yeah.
I was going back to the shop. I don't remember, but it's the Allen wrench type. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's what I had. Yeah,
so
that's what I had.
The cable goes into that end, and then an Allen wrench just tightens on the cable. It's a terrible design.
Horrible.
Terrible design. Because if you're getting in the gas like you are stomping it eventually slips out. Yeah. But I wasn't. You know, I was just cruising back to the shop, and next thing you know, pedal just went to the floor and gas stopped going. And of course, me in true fashion of me, you know, there's no tools in that car.
No.
Zero tools.
That would imply that you have no faith.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. You know, I got faith.
Jesus takes the wheel every time. Mike
That's exactly right.
I usually have tools, but they're in the other car.
Yeah. So
thing.
I'm sitting there like, and I'm not on like a busy street. It's the street that goes that turns into Broad.
Forest.
You know, when you're taking Broad all the way down, and it cuts back around and winds up going into Summer Avenue.
Yeah, that's Broad all the way by the fire station.
That goes all the way. Okay, so I'm on Broad, like back there in that little industrial section, and it goes to the floor, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, you know, it's probably a 2-mile walk back to the shop. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not leaving this car here. So, you know, I just pull a shoestring out of my shoe.
Nice.
You know, because the window flips open, right? So I just run into there and put it in gear. And I'm driving back to the shop with the shoestring like, this isn't that bad.
You were like channeling Godman's.
I was gonna say that's how Ray Godman.
You know, And you'll have to put that picture of his. Is it a sedan, right?
No,
I think it was a wagon.
No,
It was
bigger.
bigger.
32
The
Roadster.
blue one was a
Yeah,
Roadster.
32 Roadster.
That's the one
I
that
thought
had
it
the
a top on
shoestring.
it.
Yeah.
It had a top on it.
Yeah, had a dog.
Oh, yeah,
top.
just a cable kind
It was
of.
a dog. It was a dog
collar
collar with a metal cable.
Yes.
And
Yes.
somebody's got a picture of that. We'll post.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
can find it, we'll have.
Well,
Shawn
I
put it
can
on
get
there.
it if not.
But yeah,
it's still at Art and Speed.
I had heard his name, and I'm always impressed when people overcome stuff.
Yeah.
And still do their. And we talked about him with Marshall quite a bit last week.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, wait, what? Like I was looking at the Eleanor car that was parked next to him at the thing, and I was talking to him about that, and I was like, so what's that cable going through the firewall? Oh no, that's the accelerator. I was like, what? And then somebody goes, he was a paraplegic. I was like, that's my kind of guy.
Yeah, that's right. That's
and,
right.
And then all the stories come out about that car. That's what I love about cars.
Right.
Especially when you go to a show, and show season is upon us. I know that we're having a cold snap this weekend, but like we're.
Oh, I'm going, man. Holly Springs tomorrow.
That's what I love about a car, especially people that know the history of an older build or a famous, kind of quasi-famous to the group.
Yeah.
I'd never seen this car, barely heard the name Godman, and said, yeah, it was a paraplegic and blah, blah, blah. And then out of nowhere, Ricky Neal pops up, and he's like, I painted the back quarter of that.
Yeah. Right.
I was like, oh, that's cool. And then somebody else was like, I'll tell you, man, that guy used to, and like, that's a legacy.
That's right.
And that car has a story.
Yeah.
Whoever owns it and whoever will own it needs to know. And
I don't remember how he braked exactly. I think he hooked his left foot to the brake pedal
and used
his hand on his knee.
That's what I was told.
Yeah.
Is that he used his hand on his knee.
Yeah.
But I've also been told that he had
limited use of it.
He had subtle use of his feet.
Okay.
Not great, but subtle movement of his feet.
I can't imagine he had, with no power brake boosters, that he had any kind of.
Oh,
forward.
no.
That was
it's drum
that's
brake.
not stopping power with that ankle.
Yeah.
Like, he could probably keep time
Well,
with a good song. I don't think he's stopping a 3,000-pound
like
vehicle.
Them talking about him running the dragster down the track and
blowing it up.
And blowing it up. That dragster didn't have like a pull cable in it. So he was probably using one hand on his leg on the gas pedal, and that's what a dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my guy right there.
Marshall said, and that's my head just snapping off in its own story world. In the middle of having this great conversation, he's telling us that story, and if you guys flash back and watch that episode, and we're talking about it. He's like, he was a paraplegic. And I'm sorry, Marshall, I'm doing you. He's like, he was a paraplegic, but he still used his legs. And I was like, wait, what?
I know.
I think he might have been scamming the government. But I think what he actually meant was he would use his hands to manipulate his knees on the pedals in a car that wasn't outfitted for it.
And I've heard stories of them going across country and him driving.
Yeah.
Can you get a driver's license with?
You going to stop this guy?
I don't think that was really a thing. You know what I'm talking about? We're talking about
this is
a completely different era.
50s and 60s.
You know what I'm saying? Like, safety wasn't a deal. They didn't care. Like, if
your
you
driver's
showed up,
license was a piece of paper that said he can drive.
Right. And he got his driver's license before he was a paraplegic.
Yeah.
And then all he had to do was renew them.
Just send it in the mail. Yeah, I still have my legs. Like, what do you...
Right.
Nobody's
All he had to
checking
do
in
was
on that.
renew them.
I suppose.
I don't know. It's amazing. That guy sounds amazing, and I wish I could have a conversation with him.
Man, no doubt.
He was pretty cool. In case you guys don't know, it was Godman High Performance was what he owned.
Yeah.
And it was all sorts of fittings and stuff like that. It's now J&J High Performance. The guys that work there took it over after Raymond passed on. And but if you need any kind of fittings and stuff like that, those guys are the guys in Memphis, because you're like, oh crap, I need this A&M fitting.
Yeah, that's right.
With a 90 bend and another 90 for some stupid reason.
Yeah, exactly. I always go over there with something.
With the part, it looks like an octopus.
Yeah, I'm like, I need something that'll connect from this to this, and then that turns over there. He's like, okay, I got you.
I'm glad that they kept it going, because I heard there was talk about it shutting down for a little minute.
Yeah, they moved next door, so they moved into a little bit smaller space, but they're still there, so that's really cool.
That's epic.
Very awesome.
Why didn't they keep the name? You know,
Godman.
that was a no-go.
Yeah, it was a family thing. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Well, if the family wasn't going to remain involved, then there was probably no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it still would have been cool, just as a homage to him. You know.
Yeah, I can understand though. Yeah, people
Yeah.
don't want their legacy and their name used in different ways. So
Yeah.
I guess there's an argument on both sides.
Yeah.
End
for
of
sure.
the day, it's the family's choice.
Yeah. I'm thinking about renaming my shop just to some random dude's name.
Steve.
So that way when people come in, they're like, heard this was Bill's Customs. Where's Bill? I can be like, he's out.
You
He
just
left.
missed him.
Bill's not here.
It's a great
But
idea.
anyway, I've got to get back to work. See you later.
You ever notice that? That's kind of a weird thing that I've always noticed that has always bothered me. Like every
Names
custom
custom.
and hot rod shop, they want to name it after themselves. What is up with that?
Yeah.
That's a weird thing.
I had to legally change my name from Bomber Steel to Augustine.
Yeah, because that was your last
Because I
name.
changed the business name. I didn't want to be that guy. So
Yeah.
I used to be Javier Bomber Steel, and it's
Yeah.
a family name. It's German.
It's German.
Bomber Steel.
Stilio.
Stilio.
Or maybe even in the South. So
Bomber Steel.
a lot of people will stick Southern on the beginning. Of
Oh,
their
yeah,
business.
well,
Southern drywall.
like, we don't know where
Southern
we're at.
plumbing, You know.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's anyway. It's a regional thing, though. We're like the greater Panhandle.
I mean, it's just like Mid-South, right?
Yeah.
Or Delta.
Bluff City,
Bluff.
River City.
Yeah, that
Bluff.
gets put in everything.
You're right.
But I still do not for the life of me, I just do not understand shops that are like, Mike Abbott's Customs.
I don't know.
Like I don't.
I mean, there's a lot of them.
I would. Probably,
yeah, I know. I just don't understand it.
I'd probably still go to Abbott's Rod Shop.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds sketchy.
Right. Obviously. Well, I mean, Abbott means religious leader, so
Yeah.
it shouldn't sound too sketchy.
Religious leaders.
Yeah, it does.
Religious leaders Rod Shop.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Right. Why would
Come,
you not go
come
to that?
soup up your car with
Because
the Lord.
you worship. Satan.
Well,
Worship Satan.
could it be Satan?
Yes. I'm glad somebody got it.
Church lady.
Right. No. All right. So what'd you do? The last month.
The last month, man, we've done a lot. We finished out a C10, got that back, to the owner. We are this close to finishing that Camaro.
Really?
No way.
Yeah,
I saw it today.
yeah, the body,
dun.
the body should be going home
Tuesday.
Knock on wood. We're hoping Monday afternoon, maybe Tuesday.
Are you just gonna raffle off the Nova?
No.
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 I was just thinking.
No.
I
but
can finish that up.
can you?
You could do what?
You can finish that up?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
How much of that alcohol have you had?
I like how
now?
you guys think I can't do anything.
Oh, it's not that I think. I know the amount of metal
there's a
fabrication
crap
that
ton
needs to
left,
be
yeah.
done to that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I probably wouldn't do it to the same level.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah,
but,
a little paint, a little primer. Yes,
but,
indeedy.
Yeah, so hopefully the body will be going home Monday, Tuesday.
The body on the Camaro.
On the Camaro. And then the chassis that we built for it is going to stay for about 2 more days. Me and Justin, we got a bunch of stuff we got to TIG weld up on the frame, and it's just easier once the body's out of the way. So we're going to send the body home, and then hopefully by Friday the frame will go home, and that thing will be gone.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then the shoebox gets put in its place.
Actually,
What's next?
actually, well, we got the El Camino's already there. Mike the plumber delivered his El Camino.
Plumber Mike.
Yeah. He delivered his El Camino. We've kind of went back and forth. He said, do whatever you want, just make it cool, which is my kind of guy right there.
Excellent.
So
What are you like working on it?
well, it's got some rot in the bed, and of course, if he's bringing it to me, he's not bringing it to me to redo factory metal.
Yeah.
He wants it cool. So we talked about making it a motorcycle hauler,
Ooh, that'd be
like a dedicated motorcycle hauler. So
Like
basically,
drive it up
fit
on there.
two in
more or
there?
less.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
that's cool.
air ride, slammed on the ground. I want to try and get it to where it lays out enough to where it's possible to, instead of the tailgate just opening. I want the tailgate to open and then another panel to flip off of that basically becomes a ramp. That way you have no ramp.
So flip down.
Yeah, you just drive up on it and into the back of it.
Kind of like the back of an enclosed trailer, how it comes down and then
And then that little flip thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little flip thing. So we're kind of playing with that idea. I don't know that that's where it's going to land, but we are going to do a bunch of custom sheet metal in the bed and make it super sick and put it on air ride and slam it on the ground.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So what about the Ute?
The Ute, we have been working hard and heavy on that.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not a vehicle that's going to leave next month. It's just not. But we are getting closer and closer every day. We got the doors completely lined up, body line shaved, trimmed, everything. Justin, of course, had to go back through and rework the body lines around the doors. So cut here, and you're hand making everything, and we're hand making stuff off of something that was wood framed. So like the doors are subtly different. They were handmade in 1934.
Right.
So everything is subtly different, and you're trying to put it back as nicely as you can. Which I mean, factory, it didn't have door gaps. The doors overlap the body. It's like an A model. It overlaps, right? So now they actually go into the body. Well, when you start doing that, it's just, right. We made whole inner structures. It was all wood inner structure. It's just a lot to it. But the cab is pretty close to being done. The cab
it looks pretty close.
Yeah. I am going to make a custom dash for that. So I'm going to hand make a dash for it.
Is that why you posted that? I feel like there's going to be an inspiration there. I saw what you did there.
I saw
There's always
dash.
inspiration.
Oh, no. I'm talking about more like you throwing it up so you can be like, I'm about to beat this.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
I know. We're friends not long enough now where I'm like, I know when he's trying to hype himself up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, you were smacking yourself in the face in front of the mirror. I saw that.
Yeah, that's exactly.
If you guys follow Mike, go to his page and look at the dash he shared a memory of. That's an awesome dash.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Very
thanks.
Art Deco.
What was that in?
So that was in a 51 Mercury. That I did down at. I did that dash when I worked for Ronnie Giesling.
Yeah. How long
is that car? Is that car done now?
No, that car is not done.
What's the time for your portion of the dash from front to back? What was the time on that?
On the dash itself, I probably had 40 or 50 hours in that dash.
Yeah. Yeah, but look at the dash. Have you seen it?
I was gonna say that's really not that much. I wouldn't think. I mean that
I mean,
it was pretty intricate.
Oh yeah, it was super intricate.
Yeah.
And so the waterfall that comes down in the center and it noses. So I actually have a picture. I'd have to find it of the first version of that. The first version of that was not nearly as like this thing tapers subtly and it has this like nose off on the very back of it where it runs into the floor, right? Okay, that kind of looks like a piece of a motorcycle tank.
Yeah.
It was very inspired by that. But the first waterfall going down into the console that I made was not nearly as pretty at all. At all.
Like rigid lines, hard lines.
The dash looked basically the way that it looked, but I was working on that and Ronnie came back there and I had it basically, shaped out. The perimeters of it worked out. Ronnie looks at it. He's like, "Man, that ain't gonna cut it." And I'm like,
"Ouch!"
I'm like, "What do you mean?
But
this is waterfall."
You're just crushing my soul. It's not a big deal.
And he's like, well, that's one of the things that was really, really good for me about working for Ronnie.
The critique
is Ronnie wouldn't pull a punch with you. Like he would not tell you what you did was great if it wasn't the best he thought you could do. If he thought that you came in giving half, like he's going to go, "Nah, man, you can do better than that. Like I'm going to need that. You can do better. You're capable of it." So he always pushed me to be the best I could possibly be. There was no coming in and putting out Monday work at Ronnie's.
Yeah.
Like it had to be on key every time. No question. Or you threw it away. Like just period. So he came at me with that and I was a little butthurt about it. And cut the pieces back on. But then I restyled it and I got it framed out, and he came back there, and he was like, "That's where
That's
it's at." And I'm just like, "Yeah, you're right. It sucked the first time."
Nice.
So
you know what I love about what we do now is that Shawn's going to put that picture up while you're talking, and we can talk about all the pieces of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird though when you talk about 40 hours. You know, it hits me as trying to. You know, is odd because me trying to come up with 40 hours to dedicate that to. There we go.
I was like, is this mic off?
Yeah.
Give me a little more over there, man. But yeah, me trying to come up with 40 hours to dedicate to a car, you know, it's difficult, you know.
Yeah.
It is. So, man, it's kind of awesome that you're able to do that for customers. And I hope they really have an appreciation for what they have.
Some do. Some do.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably, I mean, in reality, I would say initially, you know, when I first started doing that type of stuff, it was probably 50-50. You know, 50% of the people would appreciate it and really kind of got it, what you put into it. And the other 50 was just like, I don't understand why I'm paying so much.
Well, that's the other thing though too, is like it's hard to understand fabrication.
Yeah.
You know, and how much time it takes and whatever. Like, am I paying for him to figure out what the hell he's going to do to this thing? Or, you know what I mean? Like it.
Most of the time they're not. Like where it sets right now, where I'm at right now, most of the time they're not. But also at the end of the day, you know, I think about this regularly. Should I charge people? You know, because I regularly go home after work and I'm sketching out designs and ideas for customers' cars that they never get charged a penny for that.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's just me trying to push myself to be better and better and better. But in all reality, should they?
Yeah.
I don't know though.
Well,
like for me, you know, I don't work in the car world, but I take my job home with me, and I'm literally working while I'm trying to go to sleep.
Are you an hourly pay or salary pay?
I'm an hourly guy.
Really?
But,
Are you?
But yeah.
Okay.
You should be salary.
Well, if they knew what was good for them.
Right. Yeah. You should be a salary guy.
But I do. I lay awake in bed just thinking about it, you know, and I just can't turn it off.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. And it's not like I'm saying like I feel like I'm getting shafted. I really don't, because I don't really care about that part of it. I really don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, the argument has been made to me by other people that are in the industry that do charge for all of that figuring out, and I can't really discredit them for it, because in reality, you could be working on your car.
right.
I could be working on my car, you know, or I could be working on or spending that time with my family when I'm at home.
Sure.
But I'm spending that time trying to come up with a better design for you, because essentially people that do the type of stuff that I do, we're engineering on the fly.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
And how do you know it's going to work?
There's no playbook for that.
You know,
Trial and error.
right.
And you draw on the roll before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, this doesn't work. When you look at a problem, and that's just how the human brain works anyway. Now, I'm not a neuroscientist, but they explained this to me in paramedic school. They gave me the junior crayon version of this.
Right.
Which is basically, you have from birth, when you start recording on the hard drive, every situation, doesn't matter what it is, from the time you're conscious and even unconscious through dreams, is a Rolodex.
Right.
It's constantly flipping through. Your brain's going through. It's like, okay, we've seen this. I've never seen this. What's the closest thing we got that worked?
Right.
Put that up there on the screen and send that out there. And this all happens just split second.
In moments.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat with what I do.
Yeah, you are.
Because editing photos is, I could go and just do a basic edit.
Right.
You know, like, okay, color, boom, hit auto and auto correct and send it out. But I don't do that. I'll go through every single photo that I take,
Right.
and edit every single photo. So you may get one photo that's completely different than the next one in the set.
Right.
You know, but it's more or less, it's an artistic thing, kind of like, oh, well, this would look really cool if I do this color or that.
Right.
You know? So I do a lot of that kind of stuff. But you know, I don't do Photoshop hardly at all. So everything that I do is in Lightroom, and it's I'm adjusting colors and stuff like that.
Right.
I may, you know, you can do some things in Lightroom where, you know, you might be able to take out a sign or something like that in the background, or
Right.
or you know, stuff like that. But for the most part, I mean, you take 2,000 photos at a car event.
Right. That's a lot of editing.
Every single one of them, and you're talking at minimum 2 minutes.
Yeah,
that's for a minimum edit.
Yeah, I mean, minimum edit. That's like, okay, that one looks good. You know, you hit auto or something on it, and it's like, okay.
What's the maximum though?
Oh, it depends. Yeah, I mean, so I'm editing my photos right now that we took with my 55.
Yeah,
and I mean, some of those because we had
how long? If you had to guess, spitball it.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
For a photo.
A photo.
And how many photos do you have of your 55?
That we did.
Yeah.
So it was me and 4 other guys that went out and shot, and they gave me their stuff too. So there's
wow.
Oh, there's 4 other photographers with you?
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well,
you guys basically ran a photo train on your car.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Can I say that? Can I say that?
Yeah, no, it was really cool. So it was me, Rob Wilkins, and Ian.
I'm sorry.
And Brian Beers, Ian Stinson, and Brian Beers, and we all went out and we were over in Arkansas, over on the other side of the river. Yeah, and because I really wanted rollers, because I wanted some roller shots, and like I got to drive the car, so whatever. So
I would have drove the car for you.
I know, right? Like, yeah.
It was like I would have just liked to have watched.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were all like, "So, do you want to take the pictures?" Or I'm like, "No, I'm driving the car. Somebody's got to take the pictures."
I wanted to hear. I wanted to be there just to hear that. Like, I've watched you work before. That's not a euphemism.
It's
That's
pretty.
a real
It's
thing.
pretty boring.
He's so quiet, but like 4 dudes with different personalities. I see the Austin Powers version of that where he's yelling at. Like, can you yell at the car? Yes, no, yes, more. Do this four. So I picture this. Like, if I was, hey, Javi, you want to see this happen? And I'm late, and I didn't know there's 3 other guys gonna be there, and I'm walking up to the bridge because I parked my car off to the side, and I just hear 4 random dudes going, yes, no, more, I'm gonna be like, this is the wrong bridge. Sorry,
wrong
Mike,
party.
Dirty Mike and the boys are down there.
Wrong party.
It was really cool though, man. We did it with the sun was going down, so the bridge lit up. Over there, and it was
epic.
Cool. Yeah, there's some really cool shots.
I guess I had some serious thing I was going to ask about that, which was like you don't put out anything that you weren't inspired by, and I'm sure it's a disappointing day when you don't get that shot. But that translates to any artist. Like Mike wouldn't put out anything that he didn't feel like his soul was put into. Right. Shawn, what do you do? With your sign work.
Yeah.
A lot of your sign work is made to order, but when you're working on a new piece, once you prove your formula, and you're like, "That's a product. We're going to put that out." And every piece is unique. I don't want to speak for your business, and we can re-up the business, which is Kingfish Metalworks.
Hold on, let's talk about that Pink Floyd sign.
That thing is nuts, man.
Yeah.
Have you gotten it painted yet?
It's painted, and the wife is in the process of sanding it and making it look old.
Yeah. Wait a minute. We need to say, like, we always say Shawn with Kingfish Metalworks, but we really don't talk. And we've said signs and stuff, but like we need to bring a sign and show it because. The signs that he does are CNC
plasma.
They're CNC
These
plasma.
ain't your grandpa's porcelain signs.
And I mean,
so throw it to us. What's your sales pitch there, Shawn?
I
still can't hear you very well.
Matt, turn me up over there, bud.
I think it's because the motor.
There we go.
turned.
That's it. No, we got it now.
There it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I really only make what I like, which is. Kind of it's not a very good business model.
It's a horrible business model. It's a good way to go broke.
But it's true. I do, and it's a side hustle for me. So I have that. You
can do that.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. So when people call, sometimes I don't want to. I don't want to go down that road.
If I'm like, I don't want to take pictures of any more Mustangs. I can't do that.
I know exactly.
Now you tell them. Go ahead.
But what Mike was talking about. So I had made a Jimi Hendrix piece it's actually dedicated to my uncle. So my uncle had this poster on his wall when I was a kid, and I remember it. And then he was a hippie, and he also had this peace patch with, the peace symbol.
Yeah.
So I combined the two and made a Jimi Hendrix piece, and this guy saw it and liked it and wanted it, and he said, "Hey, can you do me a Led Zeppelin and a Pink Floyd?"
Absolutely.
So the Led Zeppelin's easy because they really kind of only went down. They had like one logo,
Right.
So I basically took two of their pieces of art and kind of combined it into one. With the Pink Floyd, I mean, there's a ton of Pink Floyd stuff.
Absolutely.
So
it's always, who is it?
Huh?
Who's the Pink? When you're always asked to do the Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin, the Zeppelin piece is always which one?
What do you mean?
It's the famous one with the angel, fallen angel.
Oh yeah, the Icarus one.
Yeah, the Icarus one.
That's the one I did.
That's the one you did.
That's the one I did. Yeah. So, but the Pink Floyd is it is a poster from 1970 from it's a concert they played, and it's crazy. It's got this pyramid with an eyeball on it and lightning coming out of the eyeball.
Yes.
And it is. I mean, it's multi-layered and is. God, it took forever to put together. You're
gonna want to drop acid before you look at this.
It is.
That wasn't the one on. That wasn't Dark Side of the Moon.
No.
That one?
No. It was 1970, and it was a concert poster.
Okay.
It wasn't really a logo.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking
Yeah.
about the prism.
Yeah, because there was a prism with the
Different
Cool.
deal. But yeah, this one's cool. This is the first one I've ever done of this. So it's made, it's painted, and the wife is basically making it look old.
Yeah.
So that'll hopefully be done in the next week or so.
So, like, you do clear paints with it? Is that what you do? You do like translucent paints?
Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
This one is no. I mean, it is basically an acrylic enamel that usually, Kara, my wife, paints.
I didn't know she painted.
She's the painter. Yeah.
Nice.
She's
Cool.
Mrs. Kingfish.
She
That's
is.
right.
She's Queenfish.
That's right.
Yeah.
So when you said my wife and I own the business, you
Yeah.
really,
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
she
she-
does.
she's a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's at home.
It's not just something we say on the brand, bro. You don't sell T-shirts with the wife stuff. This is a real thing.
But yeah, I'll draw this out and we'll talk about the colors and we'll kind of come to an agreement and she'll start with the primary colors and mix down and come up with whatever
That's
it's
epic.
supposed to be and that's what it is.
that's really cool.
So yeah, she and my daughter Riley has kind of gotten into
Got
this.
into
So
it.
yeah,
That's cool.
Absolutely.
cool.
But yeah, that's to that point though. I usually make what I like, and it started out with a lot of Petroliana, hot rod stuff, gasoline stuff, music. The things that I'm into is kind of what I end up making. So
The first time I met Shawn, so he was delivering signs to a hot rod shop that I worked at.
Yeah.
And he had made a couple of Pegasus. But he
like the mobile.
Yeah. So he made those, but he made them flip to where they could face each other, so they were different. And man, when I left that shop, that was the only thing that I wish I could have kept. Like I was like, they're super
What the
epic.
crazy thing about that is I know a guy.
Yeah.
Who probably hooked that up.
Yeah.
So
I always call Shawn.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, and like him talking about he only does what he wants. So he does a lot of garbage for me. And I know he wants to tell me to like jump off a
wanna hear those
cliff,
conversations.
but he does
Does he
it.
wake up in the morning and he's like, all right, I had this dream last night.
So no,
It's a donkey. No, two donkeys.
it's a green goat.
Yeah.
And,
It's a gringo.
but no, the things that I've done for Mike were, part of projects that turned out pretty cool.
Yeah.
know?
That GMC in that bed,
Yeah, look great.
like epic.
Yeah.
Stainless steel, epic.
The and what else? The rear end shackles for parts of that we can't really talk about. It's kind of a naughty thing, but
Yeah.
Oh, naughty.
But yeah,
Sorry, Marshall.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, man, I've made a ton of hot rod parts, for people anywhere from.
I'm excited about that. For those of you that don't know, Shawn and I are in business.
Let's talk about the building.
In
You
business.
guys have been working on that.
Absolutely,
He's sore as shit.
dude. Javier wore me out, man.
Muscular wise.
Yeah. Tissue-wise.
Only because you're not active in the gym, bro.
I really didn't mean to go down that path, but since we're there,
We're not there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're putting a gym in at the location.
please, and
Anyway.
a basketball goal.
So what you guys get done? What'd you guys get done?
A lot of cleaning. A lot of cleaning happened over the last few weeks. and with that, the bankroll starts ticking away.
Right.
Electrical's been done. Shawn was able to get some electrical stuff where we can run 220 to the back. The important thing about that building is securing it. So
Right.
Shawn was helping me. I designed, and we're in the middle of fabricating, almost done with the double sliding barn doors, which doesn't seem like a big deal until you're hanging a 16-foot version of that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you can't hang that unless you have the proper stuff to hang it off of, which didn't exist. And then in the middle of all that, we realized that
Are you making eggs over there? What's going on?
make me some breakfast.
You making
bro.
some breakfast?
eggs and bakey. That's Shawn Brereton making his Irish breakfast.
Yeah.
The
Which for those of you at home is booze.
I'll have some of the Irish breakfast, please.
Right.
So back on task. 16-foot sliding barn doors is 12-foot expanse. Before we could even get started with that, it was a beam situation. And we have a good buddy who's in the community, Jay, who's got a property down the street.
Yeah.
Jay, if you're listening, thank you again.
Amen.
A lot, and I can't wait to take more advantage of you. He's been great. He's really helped us out, letting us use equipment and materials to tighten our spot up. So
Yeah.
he's three houses down, 3 properties down on Chelsea. Unfortunately, we're having to fortify it just a
Yeah.
little bit because of the neighborhood's not so great. So
That's right.
and that's just reality. I wish it wasn't. I hope it comes up. I'd like to be part of that neighborhood refacing itself.
Yeah. Tell them about the building. Tell them what it used to do.
So the building just sat there because it's a building, but the the building's actually. Thank you, security. There's a drunk man in the back laughing. You come to all my shows. God bless you. Get him out of here. So the building's actually part of 4, I believe, and there's a little parking lot adjacent to the 4th one. Miss June owned 2. There's a gentleman named Steve. Last name?
Miller,
I didn't want to say it.
the Joker.
He's the Steve Miller Band.
Is he a midnight toker?
No,
Maybe.
he's probably a midnight woodworker though.
Yeah.
He does.
He likes the wood.
He dabbles. He's our neighbor. He's kind enough to let us use the double driveway. But
Yeah.
what Shawn's trying to prime me up to say is that there's some history behind that property and all of the properties I just named off, ours included. And Shawn, I don't want to misspeak, so jump in when I screw this up. It was it's part of rock and roll history, which ties into hot rods. So Sun Studios, Atlantic Records, Meteor Records, Stax. They all have pedigree in our property.
Right.
And there's still evidence in our building, and a couple of those buildings still. They were, I don't know the names in the timeline. Shawn, help me out here.
It was a company called Plastic Products, and it was essentially a record pressing factory in the 50s. And the history of rock and roll is based out of our building. It was pressed
That's
in our
epic.
building and came
cat's out of the
Memphis.
bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
If a Sun record spun on this planet in that time, it came out of our building.
That is epic.
And that goes for the same for Atlantic, Meteor, and Stax, all the way up into the 70s when they folded shop and went somewhere else.
Was there anything left in there?
I think you're turned off.
Yeah, I can't hear you. You turned it
Whoops,
off.
there we go.
There we
I
go.
turned it off so that you wouldn't hear me.
So,
Yeah, we still heard you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything left in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
There's all
like we were
kinds.
just
Like
saying, there's still
Record-wise?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
there's a couple things in there.
bunch of 45s. There is a steel chrome plate that is the press itself. We found some, but they were all rusted, and you couldn't really, make out what was on them. But they were the negative for the pressing process.
Really?
And there's we have
Those are getting hung up in the lounge, right?
Yeah, but
we're gonna
they
have
look
some
like a
stuff.
rusty
I
disc.
mean, that's
That's
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
We found one the other day, didn't we?
Yeah.
We almost
Yeah.
lost one. I was cleaning the building out. Yeah, I mean, these things you would dismiss them as just
Right.
trash. I mean, that building's been through hell and back. It really has. It's sat derelict for about 30 years with the back wide open, which is why we're sealing.
So there's
it
a
up.
bunch of hobo pee and stuff in there.
Amongst other things. Generations of rats and what have you.
So
I'm sure.
before that, those buildings were built for a war effort.
So that's
weren't they?
that was towards the curtailed end of World War II.
It's like a Quonset hut.
It is a Quonset hut.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's not just like one.
It is.
It's the real
It's
deal.
the real deal. So all 4 of those properties are. There's a lot. That's really down that row there are. Now, I don't know the history, and maybe Shawn does, or the gentleman that's still tight with the buildings would know what if anything was stored for the war effort, because that row of buildings is built around 48, 47. So
there's a few of those around Memphis.
Yeah.
There's one
the
in
depot.
Collierville that's like an event place. And then there's one right there.
Oh, you're
right
talking about
there.
the Q set, the Q.
Kwanzaa's. Yeah, Kwanzaa huts. Yeah.
No, it's called the Q. They got it from the name Kwanzaa, but yeah.
What?
That Collierville property, the
out there in
business.
Collierville.
It's called
Okay,
the Q.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm cultured. I've been
Sorry.
out there.
I'm like, what?
They let me out there.
Yeah.
It's
They let
a
him
public
drive through
street, man.
Collierville once.
Like, that's
He had
a
to,
public
he had to
street
do
now.
some. He had to do some landscaping.
It was
out there.
community.
He was picking up trash.
It was community service. It wasn't community service. Yeah, I wasn't doing anything but court-ordered business.
That's hilarious.
Don't look the citizens in the eyes. Keep moving.
Well, so there's also
Yes, sir.
one as Sam Cooper ends right there at Tillman.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
And that used to be Milton Hall's body shop where my 55 was painted.
So that's interesting about our building. Go ahead, Shawn.
Yeah. So I had a 86 square body Chevy, a pickup, and it was painted in our building.
Really? That's cool.
So that's how I knew it was.
Wow.
That's how I knew it was for sale.
Yeah.
There's a old dirt track guy named Larry Stroop who would paint cars during the week and preach the gospel on Sunday.
Yes.
And,
My guy.
He painted my truck in that very building.
That's cool.
Dig
I think
that.
the original paint can was still on the floor when we got it.
I'm sure it was.
Say how much did it cost?
What?
The paint job? I think I paid
And what
him
year is it?
$1,600, I think is what I paid him for it. And it was, oh gosh, probably 2006.
Oh
That's
man,
cheap.
that's a great deal right
Yeah,
there.
that's cheap.
Yeah.
You
Well-
paint it with a roller?
No, it was sprayed on. You know?
Wow.
Man,
Yeah.
mine was $1,500 in 1986, I think.
Great.
86, 87.
Peaches had just started
something like that.
spraying cars.
But hey, this guy took it down to bare metal. It had 4 layers of paint on it.
Yeah.
Took it down to bare metal, fixed all of the dents and
that
everything
paint
in it
was-
for $1,500. And I tell you that
Is he the
paint-
guy that painted it that yellow and
No. That was a guy that drove a fork truck in my dad's warehouse. No, so what happened was that that paint I think would still be on that car.
Right.
Like it was that good. It was Sherwin-Williams paint, but it was awesome. But it was black and blue pearl, kind of like it is now. But my parents moved from St. Louis to Maryland when I was in college, and the car went where the
Right.
garage went.
Right.
And so when they moved, they put the car on the moving van, and they terraced over the top of it with boxes and stuff. Well, they tied the car down, and they didn't tie the suspension down. So
Bounced
the car
off.
bounced the whole way, and it tore the paint off the roof, the trunk, and the hood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so essentially, my parents got a brand new, or they got a free move from Mayflower or whoever it was at the time.
yeah.
Yeah, and so it was, repainted that yellow, teal, and purple. That story is pretty amazing, actually. My dad, I'll tell it. So my dad, there was a place there at the time. They moved from Maryland to Georgia, and at the time, my dad had this guy in Georgia that was supposed to be a great painter. Well, this is the 90s. Everybody's going wild colors and all that kind of stuff. I drew up what I wanted, which was yellow, and then it was supposed to melt into teal and then melt into purple, like the super purple, right? And this guy was like supposedly the guy. Yeah.
Choo-choo custom.
The forklift driver.
Yeah. No, not the forklift.
Oh, okay.
This is the actual good painter, whatever.
Right.
And he was dragging his feet, and there were like odd people coming in and out of the shop all the time, and all this stuff. Yeah. And my dad was getting ready to go to China for work, and so he was like, "Hey, you need to get this done. I'm leaving, whatever." And it was just super, super shady. And the guy said, "I'm starting on it in the morning." So Dad said, "Okay, I'll be by there about noon, see how it's coming along."
Right.
So Dad goes over there about noon, and the shop is completely locked up. Nobody there.
Cops.
Nothing going on. No, nothing happening. So he was like, "That's it. I'm getting it." So he goes back to the house, gets bolt cutters
Wow.
and stuff, goes in, has the trailer, breaks into the place, steals the 55 out of the shop.
It's his car. It's not
Yeah,
stealing it.
well, right, but I mean,
He's still
right?
broke in.
Yeah,
He's still breaking and entering.
Yeah, whatever. Gets the car out of the shop, drives it home. The guy never called him.
He would have just. What did the guy die? What happened?
No, he never called him. Never said anything like, "Hey, your car was
car's gone?"
stolen." No, nothing. Like, yeah, there was some shady stuff
Sounds
going
like
on
drugs.
there. Like,
Mike,
well,
what do you
that's
think?
it.
I'm going with drugs.
Dad suspected that he was selling drugs out of it, and he was
maybe
gonna try
addicted to it.
and he was going to try and steal the car. Oh, so
Wow.
yeah, so
Well, we'll never know because you stole it first.
Yeah, big move on my dad's part to get it out of there, but
That's pretty epic.
So the paint job you were
though.
talking about was ombre, like an ombre. It fades into a purple, like yellow
It was
to purple.
so it was supposed to fade.
So LA Lakers fan.
So it ended up, hey, there's no way to paint the car. Car needs to be painted. This guy that drove a fork truck at my dad's warehouse said I could paint a car. Dad did the tape work on the car, and it came out nothing like I drew. The colors were different. It was yellow and teal, but
I think
the
it
back
might have
was
came
like
out
raspberry,
exactly
and then
like the drawing.
And then there was like this pink. There was pink on the side of it to separate the colors,
Oh,
and it's
very
bad.
90s.
I'll give Shawn.
Please give me a picture.
I'll give Shawn a picture. of
Oh
that
no,
one.
he's gonna do it.
Yeah, it's
It looked like a pair of Umbro shorts.
no.
That's what it looked
no,
like.
No, here it is. So I mean I was 26, 27 probably when the car made it back to Memphis. After it was painted, and like it showed up in the middle of the night when Dad came in, and like I was pretty broke up because I'm like, oh God, I'm stuck with this thing for how long now?
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
It was pretty bad. It was bad.
I drove the wheels off of it.
Oh yeah, well I drove it a lot, but the biggest thing that you'll get a kick out of this, I used to live off of Dexter and Germantown Road, and there was a Burger King up there, and I went up to eat Burger King one day, and I was parked out front, and this family pulls up next to me in a minivan, and they open the door, and a little girl's coming out of the back, and she goes, "Mommy, it's a Skittles car."
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So all my friends were calling it Skittles car.
I do have a question as far as paint jobs. So
Yep.
I am considering painting my pickup. So I've got a new bed for it.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? What color? What do I go with?
Oh man.
I don't know.
Man.
What
Dude.
are the wheels gonna do?
Hey, I'm gonna say right now, don't go black
No.
No.
because my car's black. As soon as especially in Memphis, you wash a car,
Right.
you gotta wash it again. Like it's
Right.
just
So
immediate,
paint it brown.
especially
So I'm going to do a flat, and I want to do some scallops. But
I actually
what color?
like-
What color should it be?
I'm gonna tell you. So you're talking about your F100?
Yeah.
Man, I love those in flat white.
Well, see the Mercury.
Well, the
Mercury's
Mercury's
gonna
going
be
white.
Yeah.
The
You got
pearl-
matching
pearl
cars.
white. It's gonna be like-
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Then you're working for the company.
I don't know. It's hard for me not to say that olive green.
I don't know. Did y'all see the Model A sedan that was like a flat red, like a ruby?
Oh, I
Just
did
got
see
built
that.
Yeah.
I did see
Longer.
that.
So
Yeah.
Tim's truck was a flat red, and it was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a couple
It looks a
40
little bit
ones.
like the primer. though.
Red.
Like
Red.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know when someone that rich when it goes on, it's rich.
what
red.
what happened to going with the whole Navy deal?
Well, I was going to do that when I had the utility bed, and now that I'm not, I've kind of shied away.
Was
So-
he gonna put like ships on the side?
Did you sell that? Thing?
Well, no. What I was thinking about doing is doing like a Washington blue, dark blue, and doing it in the flat, and doing like U.S. Navy on the door, and make
that'd
it
be
like
cool.
a.
Why not do that anyways?
do
Who
it.
cares? It doesn't have
Do
it.
it.
Well,
Or don't put the logo on it
I
and
got
then
it.
just
I got
do that
it. I got
blue.
it. No, I got
Yeah.
it. I got it.
What you got?
Do a battleship gray flat with some that color, a flat version of that blue scallop.
Everybody's doing Battleship Gray.
Yeah, it's kind of a new color now.
So here is
All right,
my
I got
thing.
it.
So here
I'm
is
never
my,
going to give you another.
well, here's my thing is I was talking about repainting the 55.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about doing just the body. And
Yeah.
leave the roof black. And I was going to do the Area 51 color that is on the new Bronco.
Everyone's doing that.
Right.
Everyone's
And then it's
doing
like,
that.
God, man, I
Can't do
look
that.
and like,
Yeah.
Autorama. I was like, there were like 4 cars with that. I was like, God, man, like
Well, every year a new paint code comes out.
I know.
Somebody wants it.
I know,
Right.
But I really like that flat, or not flat color, but no metallic color on it, because that way when I drive the crap out of it and it gets a ding in it,
It's easy to patch
you just
up.
paint it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So-
You know, I've had aqua before. You know, I was thinking about maybe an aqua color with white scallops. You know, and doing it all in flat. So
That's
What's
kind
that?
of that's kind of a classy deal.
Or a
Yeah.
green, or
You
a
know.
really cool green, like a flat green,
yeah,
a
absolutely,
matte green,
absolutely, yeah.
like not dark, like a lighter.
Yeah.
like not mint either, just more like a
I was
seafoam.
gonna say you do the seafoam green like my dad's.
Great, his
Well-
dad did it. Now we can't do it.
Well, it was
Well,
done a long time ago.
But it's a '50s color, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it'll-
you
Well,
know,
you know,
work.
it's very much like Jean's
Well-
sedan.
yes, kind of a yeah. I'm
So
with you.
Jean,
I'm with you.
Jean's that paint color is actually a gloss color.
Dude, it works.
Who's here?
Oh,
Hey.
Oh, work
Hey.
yeah.
Sorry, we were supposed to be gone before you got here.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's all right.
You're okay.
We're on the podcast. You're all right.
Hey guys.
My
Hi.
wife- Oh, look, yeah.
All right, we got to
Yeah.
wrap this up. She's here.
Yeah, right.
Oh, y'all can act like heathens. I don't care.
You hear that,
Look what,
Shawn?
look what I live with.
Wow.
Oh,
You know what? Thank you for taking some of the pressure off me. It's usually me that's picking on him.
Yeah, that's all the abuse I get. It's awesome.
She knows the inner
I brought
workings.
you a chocolate chip cookie.
Well, thanks. I need actual food.
Absolutely.
First. Thanks.
He wasn't talking to you, Shawn.
I'll eat his chocolate chip
There it
cookie.
is.
Yeah, I'll take it. Shut up. All right. So Dad's.
I think you
what
should
are
do salmon.
doing?
No, yeah, do it. Do it.
Feed it. No,
Bring him
feed
a
it to
cookie.
him. Feed it to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dad's '57 Ford panel van is that seafoam green.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that color.
It looks good. It really does
Yeah.
look good, because
With
he
the
was
cream,
like, "Oh, I'm
with the
gonna paint
off-white
it."
cream
And
wheels.
yeah, he was like,
Well-
I'm going to paint it, and I like it.
So the wheels, I've got some like 05 Mustang wheels, and they're the you know, the bullets, you know, like the
Torque thrust.
the torque thrust
mags.
knockoffs that they make, and that's the wheel that's on there. And I don't know that it might not hang out for long. I'll probably get tired of that at some point.
I think you should paint it salmon.
Salmon.
Like
That's a
like
freak color.
50s
The L
salmon.
The L,
Like-
the
like-
L is silent.
Salmon.
I will pronounce it however the hell I want.
like
Just
Michael
saying.
Neal's Chrysler.
Right. Just like
That color.
Brereton.
Yeah.
Dude, that would look awesome.
That's
Do
a,
it.
That's a
that would
crazy
look
color.
good. That would look good.
If not
Do it.
salmon, coral.
It is.
Coral.
It's a
Yes.
coral,
It's
or
Coral.
Yes.
Coral, salmon, coral.
Yeah.
One of those.
That's
Peach.
cool.
It's peach.
Salmon.
Kinda-
it's not
kinda-
salmon.
it's-
Don't
it's-
listen to him.
It's really about the
salmon.
same color
You know-
as the chair right there.
Or Mike's building. It's when it
Yeah,
Mike's
the
got
the pink color.
It's
You know who else?
poinsettia.
Winfield's Cali shop is that peach color.
yeah.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
The old
The old
shop.
He's actually got your truck. It's close to you.
I've got a picture of it up there.
He's painting a fender. You ever see that? You ever study that?
No.
Photo? You ever study that photo? You've got. It
Oh,
hanging up.
yes.
Come on, man! It's hanging up in
Yes.
your shop.
I know exactly what
I feel
you're
so
talking
betrayed.
about. Yes.
I'm studying the things he hangs up.
hey, my dad did a 48 Chevy pickup truck.
Yeah.
That was like orange. The body was orange, and then did the fenders flat black, and it looked really cool.
Kind of a Harley, kind of a yeah. That's
Well,
sort of
it
a
was-
Harley
That's
thing,
too Tennessee.
No, it was really, really burnt orange. I mean, it was not.
I gotcha.
You know, it was.
Was it?
It was actually a Saturn color.
I have the orange car. You can't have orange.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck. So yours is kind of a creamsicle color. you know?
Mine straight up looks like a
it's
push-up
dream-
pop.
Yeah.
Dreamsicle. It looked like a Flintstones. Flintstones push-up pop.
That's right. I love that
You
color.
should probably. Ooh, we should make a shifter.
So if you do you know the story behind that color?
It's what Bears' favorite color.
So that was Barris's favorite color, and the whole thought process behind Ricky painting it that color. One, it was George Barris's favorite color, right?
Yeah.
Two, the name of it is Desert Rose,
oh,
right?
There you go.
So he did the rose on the roof. He painted the car Desert Rose.
yeah.
You
And
know,
then
steel rose. You're right, right.
Striped the name on the back.
Yeah.
He did the name.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man.
That is
Yeah.
super cool. It just got Mike written all over it. doesn't
Right,
it?
right.
Wow.
Now all I got to do is fix it.
Yeah. Well, so what's the latest with that? I
haven't
know that
touched
it's
it.
I know it's up at the shop.
Yeah, I haven't touched it. I finally got it up to the shop. I got to figure out what's going on with
suspension and rattle issue.
It might be the rear end. It might be
it's the rear end.
It has to be.
Yeah.
We've done everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got a 9-inch floating around. We've got a couple of them back there. So
Yeah.
you weld that bad boy in.
Let's go ahead and 4-link it.
No.
I knew if I
No.
I hope the camera's looking right at you.
How about a rigid? Let's do a rigid.
Yeah, let's lock it out.
No. I'm over rigid everything.
You don't like putting new parts on old vehicles? I understand.
I like old
what kind
stuff.
what kind of springs are in there right now?
It's leafs.
No, in the front.
On the front?
Yeah. What kind of springs are those? What did they come off of, Michael? What year of vehicle? What vehicle?
I want to say it was a...
Is it a van? Is it a van? Is it a Honda van named the Odyssey? What is it?
No, it wasn't a Honda van. It was the Ford minivan. 93 Ford minivan.
That didn't come on that car originally. I know all your secrets.
Oh man.
This is why I just own the I'll make it work attitude.
Yeah.
You're gonna sell that car like that's not an original. Those are 93 Ford step vans.
I'm not big on original, and I can tell you this. So that's been around for forever. Shoeboxes. You take a 93. I think it's an Astro. Isn't it a Ford Astro van?
Astro van, yeah.
Yeah, so you take 93 Ford Astro vans, and the circumference is the same as all of the shoebox springs.
Yeah.
Right? But it's lower.
Yeah.
So, I've read about it for years and years and years, and on this car I was like, screw it, I'm gonna try it.
Right.
I regret it.
Why?
Normally what I do is I flip the kingpins. Normally.
Yeah. Right.
Right. So you flip the kingpins and then you have to torch them to get them back straight.
Right.
And then it's lowered. I think it's 2.5, 3 inches is what flipping the kingpins do.
So I know that on that car, a lot of I think it was maybe even the 55s, 56s. People were taking the Granada spindles.
Yeah.
Is that a candidate for a Granada spindle?
No, it's different. So
it's
it's still kingpin setup.
I see.
It doesn't have an upper and a lower ball joint.
Okay. I'm with you.
I want to say 53 was actually maybe 54. I can't recall if 53 or 54 was the last year of the kingpin.
Gotcha.
But
your car has kingpins?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Absolutely. My car. So the 53 is technically considered in the shoebox family.
Yeah.
The style.
Were Chevys kingpins at that time? Did they have kingpins?
Yeah, they were kingpin.
Were they?
It's not a straight axle. It was the first version of the Independent.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have ball joints. It actually has a kingpin that runs through it.
Yeah.
And it rides up and one of these.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Did you get it, Javier? Are we squared away?
Yeah. I forgot while I was up.
Sean
to get him
Sean Briar Patch dipped me.
No.
I
screwed him.
I motioned to him. I was like,
Yeah.
could you be a
And I was like, yeah,
be
no
a pal
problem.
and top me off? And he's like,
And
I'll
that
top
is
you
the
off.
ADDS thing. Like, you can't ask me at whatever time, 9:00 at night that we're doing this.
You can't ask me direct questions and
no,
expect
you can't
me to
ask.
help
You can't ask me
Just
something.
take my hand. I'm falling
Yeah.
off the bridge.
Like,
What?
I was focused on, I need to change the battery in that camera, and I did that.
Yeah.
Don't
And then
ask me something
and then
outside
I
of
came
that.
back and I
That's right.
sat down and we're here now.
Yeah. He's like, get a beer. I
I
can't
need
get a beer.
one thing at a
Yeah.
time.
Can't
That's
do
all
it.
I could do.
Yes.
I missed something about an axle. What happened?
Right.
We're talking about
yeah.
Mike's car.
Yeah, we were
About
talking
Mike's
about the catastrophic mistake of changing those springs out.
I mean, it's the
It was quick,
The
easy.
camber, the camber's
Yeah.
all off.
Right.
I wonder
so
why,
I
though.
should have.
Is it the
Well,
spring
it
rate?
is because of how low it goes, and putting those springs in that 53 for anybody out there that is planning on doing that, and I'm
Put a
sure it's the
Mustang 2
same.
under it. Mustang 2.
No,
there you go.
don't
No,
do any of
no,
that.
It's factory, man.
Don't do any of that. But if you're thinking about doing that 93 Asher van or whatever spring thing, and like I said, I've read about it for years, it's a waste of time because what it does is it allows it to lower enough to where the A-arms bottom out.
Yeah.
So if I'd have left the factory springs in there and flipped the spindle, or it's technically not a spindle, but flipped the kingpins,
Yeah.
the camber would have been off too, but I already knew that the camera was going to be off and I was going to torch the kingpins and get it back right. Right. So it would have had a factory ride.
Yeah.
Now, it is dodgy as dodgy gets.
It looks like
you hit a good bump.
It's taking you all over the place.
Yeah, you're fighting that thing. Of course, I'm used to driving dodgy vehicles, so that doesn't really matter to me.
Won't drive a Dodge, but he'll drive a dodgy vehicle.
That's right. That's right. That doesn't really bother me. But yeah, so
That's awesome.
So let's talk about next week's guest. Let's go down that road.
yeah.
Oh, I hadn't talked about what I did yet.
Well, what have you done?
Well, I went to LST.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Lone Star Throwdown down in Conroe, and it was freaking freezing. Like,
Wow.
oh man, it was cold. Like high of 40.
That's crazy. You think about that place as being kind of hot.
Well,
you know?
here's the deal. So we went down there like on Thursday. No, it was Friday. I can't remember. Thursday or Friday. No, we went down on Thursday. As we were driving through Louisiana, I went down to Jackson to pick up my buddy Roddy, and in Jackson, Mississippi, and then we went across Louisiana.
Yeah.
It hit 86 degrees at one point in Louisiana, and then just kept dropping all the way across as it started raining and all that kind of stuff. And it was like 40 when we got there, raining, and it rained on and off on Friday. Friday wasn't too bad, but it was cold and it was windy. As this front was coming in and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was pretty chilly, and then Saturday was just steady rain all day long. But it was great. I mean, like, I can't believe, like, that's the difference between a truck show and a car show, by the way.
Yeah.
Nobody cared.
Yeah.
There was a line coming in. There were people everywhere. They were slapping through the mud. They didn't care.
Dig that.
People were cruising,
Absolutely.
cruising.
It's been too long, man. People are ready to do this.
Well, that's the thing. LST is one of those ones, though. It's one of the first shows of the year. It sells out as soon as they open it up on the website. Like, it's
Really?
yeah. Like they
it's
have
also Texas too.
yeah, they have. Well, it's a great location for Texas, for a truck show and stuff, because it's right above Houston, right below.
But I mean, what I'm
3
saying
hours
is
from-
Texas is
yeah.
synonymous with
Right,
trucks.
right,
I mean,
absolutely,
That's why it's there.
absolutely, yeah. But I'll tell you, there are a lot of vehicles from elsewhere there. It was, I mean, there were a couple people that I met from Oregon.
Really?
Oregon,
in, huh?
yeah, and
Wow.
then the long distance award came from Washington. I kind of felt sorry for for the friends from Oregon. I was like, wow,
Oh, so
How
close.
did you lose that?
You were
is that
so
right?
close.
Yeah, like
I'm
Washington.
from Saskatchewan. That's Just keep going as far as you can north.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm from the North Pole. Can I
Right?
get my card now?
Yeah, but no. So Saturday was really. I mean, it rained all day. I couldn't even get my camera out. I took 70 pictures on Saturday.
Wow.
Which is so low compared to what I normally do. But then Saturday was great. It started out kind of crappy and then ended up sunny, and I shot 4 features for Classic Truck Performance there, and they're freaking awesome.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, one of them is kind of autocross type inspired. Just awesome with the Magnuson supercharger on it and stuff. And then there was the 55 Cameo that I love.
Yeah, I like a Cameo.
That's a
I
cool
love
truck.
a Cameo.
It was so cool. The bed in it, like, you guys, it'll blow your mind when you see it. But white truck, red interior, red and white interior, and then the bed was like I think it's airbrush. I actually don't know, but it looks like it's kind of an airbrush bed, and it lifts so that you can see everything underneath it and stuff. It's freaking awesome. And then the guy did even some cool stuff. It's a 454 engine that's in it, but I'm not exactly sure what it is because the intake was different looking on it. I think it was maybe something for a towing truck.
Right.
But he made this snorkel. So normally where the emblem is on the front, he took the emblem out of it and made a mesh front in it, so it's cold air intake.
Oh, okay.
Into it, really cool, and it matches up. Like when you shut the hood, it matches up.
It
to
marries up to
There's
itself.
a little, it's really
The
really
rubber
cool.
gaskets kiss each other.
Yeah. And then I did a 69 C10 that I wanted to shoot. Like the whole weekend, I was like, I want to shoot that car or shoot that truck. It was a black truck, and it had like the the wood trim on the side and stuff. It was just
Really?
that wood trim, and it looked really cool because it was black as midnight and it looked awesome.
How do you approach these people? When you're like, you personally, you're like, I would love to see you.
Well, yeah.
And then the
A lot
owner's
of times,
like,
like, hey.
excuse me?
Yeah, like, hey, have you ever been?
I was talking about your car.
Yeah.
My car's in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Why?
But
Like, so
what was funny about that truck was like every time I look around, there was nobody there. So you're like, oh well, crap. Like
I don't want to touch it with no one seeing.
yeah. Well, no, just a lot of times there's. I mean, you can't shoot a feature right there, right there in the middle of everything else. So I was like, man, there's never anybody around, right? So the show's over, awards are done, all that kind of stuff, and we were walking stuff back out to our truck, and just outside the gate, there's that truck sitting there, and I'm like, whoa! And there's two guys in it. I'm like, that's it. I'm going for it, So So I went over there and I'm like, hey, dude, I love your truck, and has it ever been featured in a magazine? He's like, no, built in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm like, what? He said, yeah, Mexican truck.
Wow.
And I'm like, really?
Wait.
That's what he said.
Hold on.
He said Mexican truck.
Were they
He's
in
from Mexico.
fact Mexicans in the truck?
They were Mexicans.
So
yes.
it was in fact a Mexican's truck.
Yes, hence
It's a Mexican's truck.
hence the accent that I was giving.
That sounded Irish.
Yeah.
South.
Okay,
Irish.
well,
It was a Mexican's truck.
I'm not very good. So I'm not very good with that. Roberto Juarez.
He said his name was Roberto Juarez.
Yeah.
Painted like a yellow moon.
But it's down. It's from Georgia. It's from Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia. And so no, I got to shoot it. The bed work.
Wait. All right. It's from Mexico, built in Mexico, driven by Mexicans in Georgia.
They live in Georgia now.
Questionable. So they had no problem with some strange white dude coming up and be like, I'd like to take a picture of your totally legal truck. Where exactly you boys from? And then you drop your sunglasses down?
Well, they haven't sent me the tech sheet yet. So
It's probably because it doesn't exist.
yeah, by the way, if anybody is watching this who I took pictures of their car, they need to send their tech sheets into me.
Roberto!
But yeah, Roberto.
Hermano, call my friend. He wants to get you featured. That's a Mexican accent.
But yeah, thanks.
Say it in Spanish.
Yeah, I
It's
can't
the- it's
see,
the-
but I can't do that. Then I'd be racist. So
No, you just sound like J5 from that movie Short Circuit. Los locos kick your balls.
But so,
It's like, how do you transition back?
yes, I'm
But
trying
anyway.
to explain this truck. The bed in that truck. I sent you guys a picture.
Yeah, it was
it
epic.
is,
Oh, yeah.
it
was
awesome.
good.
I mean the way that he did the bed sides in it, they angle at like a 45, and then they come
Yeah.
down, they're flat, and like everything is rounded, and everything runs into everything else, and it's super nice.
Yeah.
For sure. So
Yeah, it was
yeah.
pretty damn high tech looking.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, lots of hours.
Yeah, really cool. So I can't wait for that one to hit.
So
there
what
either. So
magazine are these going to
those will be in Classic Truck Performance.
If we can get the tech sheet in.
Yeah,
If we
if
get
people
the-
would give me the tech sheets, they'll be in Classic Truck
You
Performance.
just make up something.
Yeah.
It's,
Like,
it's
yeah,
squirrel
yeah,
powered.
it's something,
You know?
right? Yeah. But Mustang Hub called me. Henry De Los Santos called me.
Another Mexican.
I tried. Yeah, I don't know if he's Mexican or not.
Oh, come on. Just say
Yeah,
it.
come on.
I don't know. But he's the editor of that magazine, and there's a car up in Nashville that he wants me to shoot.
Yeah.
That is really cool. It's a Mustang. It's like I don't even know what year it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost kind of looks like a Cobra 2, but there's been so much work done to it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like, I don't know. I could be way off, but it looks like, you can tell it's a Mustang, but
Right.
but there's a lot of work done to it, so that's pretty cool.
Like early mid 70s kind of maybe.
That's
Like a Mach
70
1?
something, yeah.
Does it have a little
No.
air scoop in the quarter fin?
Man, dude, everything is completely different on it. It's
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is.
That's
but,
giving me a lot to go on here.
and I'm horrible on Mustang, so I don't know, but I'll everybody will have to wait for Mustang Hub for that one, but I'm not exactly sure which one that's going to go in. But he also accepted the what you call it, Eleanor, the GT500.
Yeah.
Is that same gentleman?
Yeah, my buddy Greg. yeah. So I took pictures of his car a long time ago and pitched them to them and to Mustang Hub, and he was like, "Man, I got like 3 Eleanors, whatever." Right. And of course you can't call them Eleanors unless you buy them through. That's right. You got to buy them through. And this one really is too different to be called an
his
Eleanor.
car specifically.
Yeah.
If you can give him some pictures.
Yeah.
Styling cues, I love about that. Yeah. And I talked with him not at length, but I had about 10 minutes.
Right.
Because I was near the Godman. Car. So
yeah.
Oh, yes.
He let me sit in that car, and he sat in the driver's seat, and that's the cool thing about a cool owner.
Yeah.
He'll talk about whatever with you, and I'm like, yeah, this, that, and the other. I said, I love those switches. Where'd you get them? And he told me the catalog. They're GT40 switches.
Yeah, the whole interior was designed off of the 05, 06 GT
Ford GT.
40.
So he built that car. That's not.
Yeah, that's a built car.
He built that car, but
so it's not a unique.
It was built by Salvaggio.
So
Designs,
he actually
up in Wisconsin.
He'll tell you the same thing, whatever. Maybe it's when you feature it, but I'll say it now because I talked to him, and he had a machine shop, every little billet breather for the seats, just like the GT.
Yeah,
I said because I was like, "Where do you get those? Where's the part number for that?" He's like, "You don't."
Yeah,
I had a machine shop build those.
Yeah, and the funniest part about that is like so they're all like down the middle of the seats, and then he has LED lights up in the roof that are the same thing, and they're these machined aluminum round.
They're breathers for the seat.
Breather. Yeah, and that gets more attention than anything else because people are like, "What are those? Are those? Is that like air conditioned seats or whatever?"
Right.
So it's pretty funny. But funny part you probably don't know. He probably didn't tell you. The motor that's in it is an illuminator, and it's got a Kenny Bell supercharger on it.
He told me. He showed it to me actually.
And did he tell you where it came from?
It's got some pedigree on it. I don't remember.
It came out of Robert Downey Jr.'s car.
Really?
He actually did not tell me.
That is just an unusual little piece of information.
They were building a car for Robert Downey Jr. and they ended up putting Greg's GT500 on the dyno, and it blew up on the dyno.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was a a problem with the motor. There was a it's got those chain tensioners or whatever for the front of those motors or something messed up on it or whatever. So they were like, well, we got this other illuminator over here in this car that we're building for Robert Downey Jr.
So did that ever go into his car? It was just slated to go into his car.
What the
illuminator, the one that they replaced it with, was it? Did they pluck it out of the chassis, or was it just like it's on the shelf ready to go in?
I don't know if they pulled it out of the car or if it was just sitting there ready to go in.
Yeah,
right.
Iron Man's,
but pretty close. Yeah,
Iron Man's Iron.
I hope I wasn't supposed to say that, but I don't know.
Yeah,
sorry, Bobby.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, my bad.
So we're sitting at about an hour and 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Well, we better start talking about next week's guest.
I know, right? All right. So next week's guest.
Spill it.
I know. So it's going to be Preston Davis.
Amen.
So Preston Davis drove for Ray Godman for many, many years, and the Tennessee Bo Weevil, and then most recently the Southern Pride front engine nostalgia dragster, and he's just recently retired from racing full time, and actually racing at all, I guess. But yeah, he was racing with the NDRL guys last year, and so has stories.
This is going to be a special.
What's exciting
awesome.
about this is where's it going to be at?
Oh yeah, so we're going to do it at Art and Speed.
That's where it's at.
Which is where the cars are that he drove.
So yeah,
and
exciting.
Two of them are restored, and then I guess they're all restored, but one of the cars is the first car.
Oh yeah,
that went down Indy.
It's got a.
That's not crazy. That's unbelievable, man.
That's not crazy. I was like, what are you about to say?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah. So you guys will really, really enjoy it. It's gonna be awesome. And Preston is is stoked. He's called me a couple times. He's like, "Should I bring this? Should I do that?" You know,
Bring it all.
So he's excited.
Preston,
I was
everything.
like, Preston, whatever you got, bring it, man.
Yeah,
that's
for
all
I'm
sure.
excited. I'm excited for everyone at home to see the way they have these things staged at Art and Speed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be epic.
in a warehouse full of awesome, that little paddock that they have.
Yeah. Oh well, we're in a different building now.
Well, it's probably set.
changed it,
Tell
yeah.
me, it's kind of the same, right? Like it's got its own area.
No, because it's pretty tight in there.
Okay, whether tight or not, maybe
but
the
they're
old,
all together. They're right there.
They look like a really cool museum piece
Yeah.
in a huge, and it's still a warehouse full of awesome.
Oh yeah.
But when you walk in, you're like, these all belong together and they're special.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's a velvet rope, and you're like, that doesn't mean for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on Hot Rod Blues. I can do whatever I want.
It's pretty epic. So
I think
so we'll
somebody may have
show you
gotten
some-
I didn't want to say it, but I think
somebody may have gotten angry about some pictures of me sitting in one of those cars.
Oh.
Yeah,
we're not going to do that again.
No, I won't be.
I probably will.
I won't fit.
I didn't do that.
I don't think I'll fit in them.
I'll do it.
I was just,
I don't care.
felt glad to be in the same room with them.
Yeah.
Amen.
But-
Bo Weevils.
But it's gonna be really, really cool. So so definitely check out the next episode. And then we've got some stuff lined up after that. I guess
we do.
I'll just tease it. I won't say who they are.
You got to come back and find out.
But we go here and then we go there and then so
Then you have another bum day in your living room.
No, right,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
No. Yeah, at some point we'll catch everybody back up, but I've got I'm heading to Las Vegas for Mopars and Muscle Cars at the Strip, which would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Phil Painter out there puts that on, and I'm hoping for
Hey, when do we think this thing is going to air?
Sometime Friday night, Saturday.
Friday night?
It's tomorrow night, so
Yeah. Wait,
Saturday's pushing.
possible?
we'll see.
Sunday.
We'll see. It's a good possibility. Why?
Okay, well, if this thing airs tomorrow night, I want you to go ahead and plug what's going on Saturday.
Yeah, so at Holly Springs is Hutch's Fun Day down at Holly Springs Drag Strip, and Alan Hutchison puts on a charity event there every year. And the last couple of years, he's done Camp Light. Good friends of ours, Scott Bosley and Zach Straits helps Scott out. Scott owns Camp Light, and Camp Light does they do camps for special needs children, and it's an epic place. I mean, I've been there. I drove up when we did the Blue Ridge Parkway. We drove up there, and the place it's a 50s town. I mean, he's got an old muffler man there. He's got the gas station. He's got the church. He's got all this stuff there, and they do all of these little camps for special needs kids, and they have. They do like green screen stuff, and they do where
cool.
they can do karaoke stuff in front of it and all that. It's epic.
Alan's
Yep. So
his race. What time is that start?
Yeah. So Hutch's deal is from 9 to 3, and it's going to be drag racing, cruise in, and autocross.
Super
So
cool.
anybody wants to try autocrossing, come out, try it.
So
It's free.
so the Miata is going to be out there.
The Miata's on the flyer, so the Miata has to be out.
Oh yeah,
It's on the flyer.
No, I saw it.
there. Yeah.
Your car made the flyer.
Yeah,
Well,
my
he
car's
made
on
the flyer. He made the flyer. He can do it.
No, I didn't make the flyer. I didn't make the
Kind of like
flyer.
me. Like if I was to make a flyer,
No,
that'd be like my car would be on it.
But all the folks from Virginia are going to
Out
be
of
down.
all of the
They're
cars
on their
they
way
could
here.
have put on a flyer,
Right?
they put
Well,
the Miata.
It's
Wow.
because the Miata was the fastest.
Really
Oh yeah,
epic.
dude, that thing.
What motor you got in that? Like a 1.3 liter or some?
1.8
Yeah.
flathead
Stock.
Ford. Flathead Ford's
stock
in
with
that thing.
stock with 198,000 miles on it, but it sits at $7,000.
It burns tires just like it burns
That's
oil,
it.
baby.
2 liters of soda underneath that
I
hood.
pretty much drift it all the time, and I will definitely be drifting on Saturday because it's supposed to be like a high of like 38.
Oh mercy.
Yeah. So
There
get
is
down there and
no
check that out.
way, Yeah, there's no way that those tires are going to make it for sure. but
Sean will sign your dash in your Miata when you bring it
there
out.
you go. Absolutely.
Well, be
No,
safe, man.
But yeah, no, I
Wear a
love it.
helmet.
It's going to be fun. I'm taking the Fairlane and the Miata, and
You gonna autocross the Fairlane?
I might.
Sissy.
I might. No.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I might.
Hey.
I'll try it. I haven't done it.
That's
a
a big
little
body on
power
that.
steering issue on that car, so I don't
gotcha.
know if that'll work or not. But I'm gonna try it because
Dig it.
that's been the thing. I didn't do it before because of the fuel pump,
Yeah.
and then also I had that rear end leaking issue, which seems to be taken care of now. So
I might take the Merc down there and autocross
come
the Merc.
on,
Do it.
dude, it's fun. Hey,
Yeah,
I did.
big heavy car.
I got a parade.
I autocrossed.
Yeah,
I autocrossed the Oldsmobile one time.
Did you?
Yes, I'll tell you about that
Yeah.
one another time. But yeah,
Well, cool.
hilarious.
So tell
But,
us what you got happening, Mike.
Oh no, I'm just
He's
we're
doing
doing
the
yeah,
parade.
we're doing the parade down Bill Street. It's the St. Patrick's Day parade. We're doing that with Silky O'Sullivan.
So tell us. I mean, you mentioned that before. I mean, is it a how long? Just down Beale? That's it.
It is
Yeah.
just down
The
Bill,
length of
Wow.
it.
It's like
is it.
2 blocks.
and
Okay.
it takes like
5 seconds.
2 hours.
Oh,
Well, you got to be there. You got to be set up. Blah, blah,
No. That's just that's just driving.
Just to get
it.
down.
Just to
Man,
get down there.
I am glad I did not commit to that.
Ah,
'cause-
lady.
wow.
But anyways,
just be
yeah. So
pushing
that's
it.
Saturday. So yeah, if you, I would prefer you to go to Hutch's thing.
Yeah.
If you're into cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're a regular person, yeah, come on down.
Yeah,
to
right.
Come on down.
He'll
Yeah.
throw candy at you.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
We'll throw,
But
know.
Hutch's thing is really cool. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. And Wayne Creaney is going to be there of Chasing Classic Cars.
Oh, neat.
Dig that.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And I'm sure George Poteet will show up with something or
It'll be cool.
yeah. See now, so he showed up with the GT
Yeah.
2 years ago and ran it down the drag strip.
That's what I'm talking
Wow.
about.
Yeah, it's like
So don't
that's
miss
like
that.
$2 million going down the
Yeah.
drag strip or whatever. It's cool, but he sold that now, so yeah.
Awesome.
So
All right.
well, cool. All
Take
right.
us out, Javier.
Javi.
This has been Hot Rod Blues with your host, Shawn Brereton, your co-host, Mike Abbott, your other co-host, Sean Young, and that guy in the background, Matt Marion.
Yeah, Matt.
This is Javier Agustin signing off. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.